Guys, welcome to Feel Good Tip number 5. And Feel Good Tip number 5 is high protein breakfasts. Now, as a personal trainer, as an athlete, as a personal trainer for about 13 years now, I've been using high protein breakfast for that same amount of period. And I can guarantee that there's the benefits of a high protein breakfast and the differences I feel when I have it. Now, well, let's go back to what's commonly used and what's commonly done by athletes in society right now. Most of the time, it's commonly thought that athletes need carbs in the morning because they need energy. And there's still this fact that there's protein equals muscle growth and repair, and carbs equals energy. Now, on a level, that's very true, but it's a lot of crossover there. On other levels, that protein used right and with good fats actually creates energy as well. And for me personally, high protein breakfast, and personally for me, a low carb breakfast and high protein, low carb breakfast is really, really good for me. I feel the energy, I feel super energized for it. And the reason is because high protein creates dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter, a kind of get up and go, feel good neurotransmitter, feel good hormone that's created in the gut. And the reason is because the actual protein, high protein breakfasts or protein sources have a kind of the amino acids that help create dopamine. So it's like essential amino acids like phenalyline and also non-essential like tyrosine help create the dopamine. So eating high protein breakfast is best to create dopamine, that get up and go, feel good hormone. Now, obviously, you're picking some kind of thing. So what I'm saying is, I'm not essentially saying doing what I do and cut out carbs in the morning. That's not what I'm saying. That's probably not best for you, although you could try it, but I don't think so. So what I mean is prioritize protein in the morning, not cut out carbs. Just prioritize it. You can still have carbs, but prioritize protein in the morning. So how much? So what we're looking for is tipping mostly for if you're a male athlete, you're looking for up to the 30-gram mark of protein with the full essential amino acid package in it. I'd for ladies is probably 20 grams of protein, and once you hit that mark, you've got a great start to the day. So really push for that. Now, obviously, what sources can you do it are good for it. So obviously the usual sources is probably there's dairy, there's meat, and I'll talk about a little bit like that in a minute. I talk about eggs, nuts. And for vegans, probably there's the quinoa and soy, if there's those choices there. And if you're a vegan, you obviously know more about that kind of area than I do. So you probably know more sources where you could get high protein. But what do I do? Well, essentially, what's the right combination? The first thing I'd say, if you're going to have a high protein breakfast and it's lacking carbs, I would make sure you have good amount of fats in there. So eggs obviously come with that combination of good fats, which is good. Eggs in the morning, scrambled eggs, boiled egg. Vary up the way you make every day, because the variations will help you. If you have this, make eggs in the same way, then it's kind of, you're going to have a kind of intolerance problem later on. It can lead to that. So vary up the way that you make eggs, boiled eggs, scrambled eggs, or an omelette, or something like that. So good fats with the protein. Also with high protein, such as this, you want to have some veg. You want to have a source of fiber with it. And green veg is a perfect thing for that. And then you can add, if you need a sugar fix, you can add blueberries and raspberries afterwards. So high protein needs good fats with it, good amount of good fats to give that combination, because you need that energy, and that's the good fats gives you that. And then the fiber content. Now, Tim Ferriss obviously it actually says for the fiber content, it says lentils in the morning with the eggs, which is perfectly fine as well, and that gives you a little bit of energy as well. So lentils is possibly another idea. Porridge, superb breakfast for most, and it's far more healthier than a lot of the cereals. So porridge is good, but it's not sufficiently high in the right amount of amino acids in there. So you need to top up your protein levels with porridge. What else are you going to add to it? Are you going to have dairy on top of it? Are you going to add nuts on top of it? You want to make it, again, if you're a male athlete, which is young male athlete, then you want to be hitting the 30-gram mark of protein in the morning. What else are you going to do? And then obviously with porridge, you've got a bit of fiber in there as well. So fiber is not such a priority, but the protein levels are as you need to top them up. So probably, are you going to have an egg afterwards, or boiled egg afterwards, or something like that to make that mark? For me personally, I vary it with eggs in the morning. On other days I'll have a red minute steak, and I find that's the best breakfast for me. And I normally low carb it. I don't obviously have carbs with it. I normally, because red meat comes with the fats with it, which gives you the energy, and also I might have some nuts with it, and I'll have some vegetables obviously with it, because again, if you're going to have meat in the morning, you've got to have something green. You've got eggs in the morning. I suggest you have green as well, something green vegetables with it as well. And then for my sugar fits, I'll have blueberries and raspberries with a good source of fibre on top of it. The green veg, again, the fibre needs to be there as well as the protein, and the blueberries and raspberries will top up that fibre content. That's really good as well. So that's a really good combination. Now, I would say not keep away, but prioritize the red meat if you're going to have protein in the morning, because that's got the right amount of fats in it to combine with it to give you that energy. But if you're going to have white meat like turkey steaks or chicken fillet or something like that, you're going to have a carb with it. Excuse me, because white meat doesn't have enough fat in it, and it's a very dry, lean meat, and basically you need the fat with it. So if you were to have just white meat and vegetables, you would feel very sluggish. Trust me, you feel very sluggish in the morning. That's not the great start to the day, and that's going to raise stress as well. So you need the fat with it. So if you're going to have white meat, I'd actually prioritize it in the evening as well, because it's actually white meat and fish and poultry are meats that actually activate serotonin, which is a feel-good hormone as well, but it's kind of a relaxing thing that you need for kind of winding down and recovery and preparing for bed. So you'd have white meat probably in the evening times. That's when I would do it. I would keep away from cereal. Cereal in the morning it's not a good start to the day. It's high in sugar, it's high in gluten. Both of these things you'd want to keep low in the morning. It's not a good start to the day. And even if you're a young athlete, we have to think about our moods, what's going to energize us. Now, if you're going to say that, you might be a young athlete and say, I can burn it off, or anything, it might be high sugar, I can burn it off in them throughout the day. It's just not good starting the day, because it's got gluten in it. Gluten puts a strain on the stomach. And since dopamine is created in the stomach, the feel-good hormones are created in the stomach, why would you want to stress the digestive system in the morning? And particularly if you've had a bad night's sleep or something of insufficient night's sleep, you don't want to start off the day with a breakfast that's going to exacerbate the problem. Look after your gut. Put things in your body that are going to nourish the gut, and specifically in the morning, that is of priority. If you're going to have cereal, have it after your workout, after your training sessions, or even at night time. Prioritize it that time, but not in the morning. Put things in your body in the morning that are going to nourish you, that are going to activate the right kind of hormones. Again, what you think about sugar is going to give you a high energy kick in the morning, because the blood sugar levels go down, but it rockets down after that. So it's up and down. And once you hit that low mark there, that's going to be where your mood is going to take a drop, and it's going to get stressed enough. You're going to start have no sugary products as well. You really put things, you don't want to, that's not one thing you're going to do. You want to have a breakfast that's going to give you an equal amount of energy throughout the day, kind of even moderate amount of energy throughout the day. That's going to give you the right base. And high protein breakfasts, and to some extent porridge, will give you that. And obviously for vegans, probably quinoa is a good source if your digestive system can handle that as well. So hopefully that video was helpful for you. Please please share with your other colleagues, coaches and athletes, and see you in the next video for tip number 6.